Animal Stories We Can Read. Adapted by Flora L. Carpenter. Illustrated by Dorothy Gritter. The Open Gate. Fleet was a good old dog. He lived on a farm. He took care of the barnyard. He looked after the hens and the geese and the ducks. He looked after the horses and the cows and the sheep. He looked after the little calf and the little brown colt. One day he said, "I must see my friend Mrs. Muffet. She has 2 baby kittens." So away went Fleet to the barn. "How do you do, Miss Muffet?" he said. "How are the baby kittens?" "Oh, you never saw such kittens," said Mrs. Muffet. "One kitten is white, and one kitten is gray. They run and jump and play all day. But what news do you bring from the barnyard?" "Nothing at all," said Fleet. Just then they heard a great noise. Fleet ran to see what it was. What a noise he heard in the barnyard! "The gate is open," called the geese. "The brown colt is gone, the little calf is going, and we are going too." "Oh, what shall I do?" cried Fleet. "Go back to the pond," he called to the geese. Go back, he called to the little calf. But where was the little brown colt? The little brown colt was running down the road. Dick, the farm boy, ran after him, but the little brown colt was too quick for him. Dick called and called, but the little brown colt ran down the road as fast as he could. "Oh, this is fun," he said. "I will never go back to the barnyard." The little brown colt ran on and on. Night came, and he had no place to go. Back on the farm, the horses and cows came to the barnyard. It was time for their supper. They were hungry. The hens and the geese were hungry too. So was the little calf. It was time for their supper. They all came to the barnyard. But where was the little brown colt? Dick called and called, but no little brown colt came home that night. Morning came. The little brown colt found his way home. He had run all night. He was tired. He was hungry. How glad he was to see Dick! How glad Dick was to see him! What a noise Fleet made in the barnyard! The little brown colt said nothing. He hung his head. I know he will never run away again. And I know Dick will never forget again to shut the barnyard gate. Out of the nest. There were 2 birds. One was the father bird. One was the mother bird. They built a nest. They built it in a tree. Soon 2 eggs were in the nest. How happy the birds were! Mother bird sat on the nest. One day she said, "Oh, look!" Father bird looked in the nest. He saw 2 little birds. They said, "Peep, peep." How hungry the little birds were! How Father bird did work to find something to eat! How Mother bird did work to find something to eat! One day Brother bird fell out of the nest. Down, down, down he fell. "Peep, peep," he cried. "I want my mother." An old frog saw him. He said, "Ker-chunk, ker-chunk, come with me." "No, no," cried Brother bird. "Find my mother." A dove flew down to him. She said, "Fly, little bird, fly back to your nest." "I cannot fly," cried Brother bird. "I am too little. I want my mother." The dove said, "I will find your mother." And away she flew. Soon Mother bird flew back to the tree. Soon Father bird flew back to the tree. "Fly, fly," cried Father bird. "Fly as I do." But Brother bird could not fly. Then Mother bird cried, "Oh, fly, do fly! Here comes a boy. What shall I do?" The boy looked up in the tree. He saw the nest. He took Brother bird. He began to climb the tree. Soon Brother bird was in the nest. "Coo, coo," said the dove. "Ker-chunk, ker-chunk," said the old frog. "Thank you, said the father and mother. "Peep, peep," said the little birds. They were all happy. How the rabbit got its tail. Once upon a time there lived a mother rabbit with her baby. Their home was in the woods, in a hole in the ground, under a big tree. Mother Rabbit loved her little bunny. She thought that no other rabbit had such a pretty little tail as he had. Bunny played around the hole under the big tree and was very happy. By and by he began to grow up. He wanted to go to Farmer Green's turnip patch. His mother said, "No, you are too little." Then Bunny became a very cross little rabbit. One night Mother Rabbit went to bed early in their bed of dry leaves. Soon she was sound asleep. Little Bunny crept quietly out of the hole. Then he ran as fast as he could out into the dark world. At last he came to a big field. Not far away he could see Farmer Green's house. On one side of the house was a garden. Straight to this garden he ran. Soon he came to a fence. It did not take him long to find a hole. He crawled through the hole. What a sight he saw! In this garden there were turnips, lettuce, and cabbages. There was so much he did not know what to eat first. How he ate! All at once he saw a little house with an open door. Bunny went in and found a sweet red apple. Oh, how good it was! What a good time little Bunny was having all by himself. Then he started to go out of the little house. The door would not open. The little house was a trap. Poor little Bunny stayed in the trap all night. The next morning Farmer Green came. He took poor little Bunny to the barn. He locked him up. By and by a man came in. He left the door of the barn open. Out jumped little Bunny. He fell into a bucket. The bucket was full of tar. After a while he got out. What a sight he was! Then away he ran again. He fell into a basket full of white cotton. Poor little Bunny, what a sight he was now! He looked like a big ball of cotton. Little Bunny did not want to go home. He wanted no one to see him, so he lay still in the basket and rested. When night came, he crept out of the basket and ran home. He found his poor mother crying. She thought she had lost her little baby. At first she did not know him. Then she began to scrub him. How she scrubbed to get off the tar and the cotton. At last he was the same little Bunny again, but a little cotton stuck to his tail. This she could not scrub off, and it is there yet. So that is why we call him Little Cottontail. The end.